Love in its most personalized form. That's you, Cancer Moon. Hi, this is Mina back with another moon sign video for you guys. If you're new here, my name is Mina. I love to talk about astrology, so if that's something you like to do, smash subscribe for good luck because I will be putting up weekly videos. We're going to talk about moon in Cancer today, you guys, which is my moon sign, and it's where the moon's at home, meaning it's domicile, very comfortable in the sign of Cancer. Does this mean it's a perfect moon sign to have? Absolutely not. Does it come with special emotional gifts? Of course it does, and we will discuss all of that. First, we're going to talk about Cancer Moon basics, then we're going to move into the nurturing part, how we need to be nurtured, how we nurture others, how we care for ourselves. So if that sounds like something you like, stay tuned. What does the moon sign do in our birth chart? The moon is our most personalized emotional core. It is our deepest personal set of needs that we need to be met for us to function the best throughout the day and do all of our visible acts like going to work, all of that stuff, our hobbies. And our moon is not meant to be judged or criticized. It's meant to be nurtured and loved for what it actually is. It's not supposed to evolve into another sign. And the more we accept and love our moon for what it is, the stronger emotional muscle it's going to become. And that's really going to lift our visible parts of our chart super high, like our sun sign, our rising sign, our midheaven. All those things that are the go-getters in our charts that get us happiness. Your moon's in Cancer. That means your moon is ruled by the moon herself, which is very cyclical. It has certain phases that it has each month, and the phases really affect its visibility, which is very important to connect with the energy of Cancer in the moon sign. Because yes, the moon is different amounts of visibility, and when it's new, we can't see it at all. But we know that she's there. The moon's still there. She's going to come back in her full moon visible glory. And that's something really important to remember with Cancer Moon people. When we're having our very low emotional moments and you can't see our bright hearts, we're always going to cycle back, which is something that everyone needs to realize about Cancer Moon people and give them that benefit of the doubt in that way when we're going through our highs and lows emotionally in life. We're also cardinal water. Water is everything emotion and heart, and cardinal is upward moving energy like an arrow and first responders. So we want to be the first emotional responders to people we consider family. And the concept of family is super important for Cancer people. This can be traditional family, this can be friends, this can be romantic partners. Anyone that's important to you, that's our family. And really we don't do superficial relationships. You're either part of that family or you're just someone we have to merely deal with throughout the day, which makes us pretty good people to have in close proximity because we are capable of being really hugely loving individuals if we can regulate our moods and energies correctly. Our mascot is a crab, which is very important to know because a crab is a very protective animal and has a very hard shell, and it's protecting its emotional vulnerability from potential predators because inside there's a lot of tenderness and gushiness, which every Cancer Moon person, that's a tender-hearted, sensitive, highly sensitive individual, regardless of how rough they're coming off. That roughness is that shell protecting that vulnerable part because Cancer Moon people have a deep fear and insecurity of being emotionally vulnerable around people. And crabs have the pinchers, and sometimes Cancer Moons can be very emotionally reactive when we feel emotionally threatened and emotionally unsafe. The pinchers can come out and we have the ability to really hurt people in those moments if we're not careful. Alright, let's get into the house part because the houses in terms of Cancer Moon is so important because Cancer Moon period, well, moon period is a private part of us, and Cancer adds another layer of privacy. So depending on what house your Cancer Moon is in is going to be like what amount it's visible. So if you have it in the 4th house like me, then it's probably not visible to everyone you know. It's a very hidden part of me that I don't show the world. But if your Cancer Moon is in the 10th house, I'm sure that's so lucky because everyone can see that loving, tender part of you and will probably love you back for it. I've seen a lot of people with Cancer Moon in the 10th house have just great success in career. If it's in the 8th house, I'm very interested to hear from you because I would feel like that's a very intense placement and probably somewhat hidden like mine. And Moon in the 1st house, if it's in Cancer, that could be very volatile. Your playing out all these moods and ups and downs that we have as Cancer moons very loudly and in people's faces, but it can also make you a very endearing, loving person. So check out those hasses and aspects to your moon. What about the mom? Well, Cancer moon people, it is quite possible that you had a very caring, sensitive, tender mom that really made you feel emotionally safe and nurtured you in that personalized Cancer way, loved you the way you wanted to be loved. But it's also possible that you saw your mom as an emotional wreck and you were the nurturing parent to them, and maybe you didn't get that back and you had to learn to self-soothe, and maybe that could have made you bitter. There's so many possibilities. Let's get into, how does a Cancer moon need to feel nurtured and loved? The first thing a Cancer moon person needs is a level of trust with people, because we're protecting our emotional vulnerability with that hard shell. So we really need to feel safe to shed that shell a little bit, to let our tenderness come out. And the way we do that is that we have to have a good foundation emotionally with people, which is quite hard because life is so unpredictable and everyone has things going on in their lives. But ideally, a Cancer moon person needs a steady beginning period with someone. That's the foundation where our emotions are treated with care and we can slowly let down the shell and feel emotionally safe with someone. Because if we have that period where nothing too upsetting happens, we can really trust someone, and even though we're very sensitive people, we can weather the ups and downs of life by using our powerful gift of nostalgia and emotional memory. Cancer moons have amazing emotional memories, and that can be good or bad, but it can work good in this way because if we have a really good loving foundation with someone and we feel like our real feelings were treated with care in this period, we can be nostalgic and always go back to that initial period when relationships get kind of crazy sometimes. So we won't check out of them. If we have that foundation, we can always have a level of trust with someone no matter what life throws at us. Another big thing for Cancer moon people is to feel like people aren't trying to hurt us, and at least are trying to be respectful of us emotionally, which is hard because Cancer moon is so private and retreat. So even though we're very emotionally intuitive, Cancer moon people have amazing emotional intuition and can learn someone emotionally, but not everyone has that. So sometimes people step on us emotionally and it hurts because we can feel at such a deep level, but they probably didn't mean to do it all the time. So we need to at least feel like people aren't actively trying to hurt us emotionally to feel safe around them. We need to be around people who have a decent sense of give and take, because as a Cancer moon person, you're kind of connected to the mom because the mom is representative of the moon and kind of like the baby part too. So we're naturally inclined to want to give and help heal people emotionally, and a lot of times we don't get anything back in return, which can be very hurtful for us, like a punch in the gut. So it is important that we at least surround ourselves with people that have a decent, maybe not perfect, but a decent sense of give and take in relationship. And all these things make us feel taken care of, guys. And if we feel taken care of, we really can feel emotionally safe. And once you get a Cancer moon at that emotionally safe feeling, then you can develop such a high amount of trust with that person. Because we have such a great emotional memory and a really vivid sense of nostalgia, it's important that we surround ourselves with healthy nostalgia. A Cancer moon can be taken back to happy memories through fragrance, through images, through movies, through songs. And this is one of my favorite scents. It smells like candy and I wear it because it makes me happy in that emotional memory way. Cancer moon people need people to be willing to listen to them and to care for them in moments of emotional crisis, because we really are so up and down a lot of the times because we feel at such a deep level, and whenever we have these emotional peaks, it feels like it's not going to end, especially when it's a bad one. And if we feel like we're surrounded by people that, care enough to want to try to make us feel better, that can go a long way and make us feel very loved and cared for and safe. You can't love a Cancer moon too much. Cancer moons are love sponges and just love to be loved and cared for. That just really puts a smile on a Cancer moon's face when they feel loved and appreciated. And not every Cancer moon is a physically affectionate person, but whether that's physical affection or affection via words or text, just whatever. A Cancer Moon just loves their preferred type of affection, and it can be a healing element because love is like medicine for a Cancer Moon and has the ability to heal lots of wounds that we might carry with us from being such an open, bleeding heart. How will Cancer Moon love other people? How do we nurture other people? Cancer Moon is going to take notice of you emotionally through your habits and reactions to things. Now Scorpio does this too by psychological deep investigation and observation. We are more so just quickly gathering data from your reactions to things emotionally and things you say to do with emotion, and we're gonna use this data to love you in the way that you want to be loved at your most personal core, which makes us great gift givers, great listeners. We really listen to from the heart for people that we really care about. We also will go in mama bear mode to protect you, meaning that if you're part of the family, we don't care if you're wrong or right. You could be so objectively wrong, and we're going to jump into your defense because that's just what we do. Not everyone likes that, but some people do. It just depends on the individual. That's just our emotional, raw reaction when we want to help someone we love. We don't care if they're right. We just want to help protect them. And that all has to do with wanting to protect people we love from harm, because we're so protective of our own vulnerability and heart that we extend that to others. We will also use that emotional data to help heal your emotional wounds if we really care about you, because we understand that love is the best medicine for us, so we try to give that back to other people. How can Cancer Moon people nurture themselves? The most important thing a Cancer Moon person can do for themselves is to take notice of their own emotional patterns and mood swings, triggers, learn themselves emotionally, because oftentimes we expect others to notice us like the moon and write down our phases, but you guys, that's not always realistic. And you know, that's our superpower. We have that great emotional intuition that we can learn people in that emotional way, but not everyone's capable of that. So we have to start with ourselves. We really need to get to know ourselves emotionally so we can retreat the pinchers, because when we lash out emotionally and try to protect ourselves when we feel threatened, we can really hurt someone. And when we pull out those pinchers, we basically kill everything magical about us, you guys, because we're big, bleeding, caring hearts. So it's best that if we use the data from learning about ourselves emotionally, we can not use those pinchers all the time, not overuse them, because we need to stay magical people, because we do have very warm, tender hearts that should be recognized for its positive qualities, and the pinchers can just like overshadow all that good, and I don't want that to happen to all of us. Another thing we can do is to not emotionally eat, and I know that this is hard. Trust me, I just stopped like in November. November was my last month of emotional eating. It was very hard for me, but I feel so much better, because guys, when we emotionally eat to self-soothe emotionally, we're killing our intuition, because our intuition comes from our gut. And if we're overeating, we're not keeping our gut healthy. I swear, my intuition has been so good since becoming a healthier person and having a better relationship with food. Also, you guys, we need to develop emotional patience when we're not getting that immediate emotional reaction, because we're thinking, hey, we immediately emotionally react to others to help them. Why aren't they doing that for us? Well, you guys, everyone's different, and we don't know what's going on in someone's lives. They can be having their own crisis. So we really need to learn how to emotionally be patient and calm down when we're not getting that immediate emotional soothing from other people. The people who care about us will always come back, you guys. And remember, we have good intuition, so if you trusted those people, they're most likely good. Another thing we need to do is to be direct with what we emotionally need, because a lot of times Cancer Moon people think, oh, well, I can learn people emotionally, so why can't they do that for me? Well, not everyone's a Cancer Moon, you guys. We have to learn how to not be so passive aggressive, and if we have things that we need to be respected emotionally, we need to directly tell people so we don't set them up for failure and set ourselves up for disappointment. We'll be much happier that way. We also need a very good outlet for that emotional energy, which you could be in charity, work with children, animals. Cancer Moon people also need to come to terms with their family situations. And I know that it's hard, because when something happens in your family and you're Cancer Moon, you just feel that like in your soul. And we need to have a healthy relationship with family, no matter how traditional, non-traditional, scary. Coming to terms and forgiving our family can be very healing for us as Cancer Moon people. We also need to learn how to accept ourselves for being sensitive. Instead of running away and being ashamed for being so sensitive and vulnerable, we need to build confidence on that, because that's what makes us special, you guys. A lot of times Cancer Moon people can be very insecure because of the sensitivity, instead of empowering themselves. So it really can be a big confidence boost if you see it for the gift it truly is, and will make yourself feel emotionally safe without other people doing so. Cancer Moon needs to nurture itself by surrounding itself with good people that give you that love that you need as healing medicine. You know, if someone's not doing that for you, cutting them out is a good thing. Sometimes Cancer Moon people don't like to let go of things, even if they're hurtful, just because it's almost like that nostalgia and emotional memory working against us. Because if we have like a good memory of someone being kind and loving us, that's enough for us to just grab on with those pinchers and not letting them go, even if they're hurting us so much, which is not healthy, you guys. We're not the world's mother. We're not Mother Teresa. We need to take care of ourselves, because we have a very intense emotional center. If we don't take care of us, then we're not going to be the shiny hearts that we are. And this is also very important, you guys. We need to have a special retreat, whether that's in your home, it can be like your metaphorical home, that we can go and feel safe and really cool down, have some quiet time, and let our emotions settle. That's why like home is very healing for Cancer. And now whether that's in your car, I mean, it could be anywhere that you feel safe and comfortable, that you could just like chill out for a little bit to emotionally regulate your moods. Honestly, Cancer Moons, it's important that we treat ourselves. We're so giving to others, but we need to give back to ourselves, and this can happen in varying ways. How I like to do it, I kind of approach it from a very earthy way. Like, I'm a Capricorn MC. I have a certain routine that I have to complete every day before I can be like Mother Teresa Cancer Moon to anyone. And I don't budge from that. I have to complete certain tasks, or I just can't be a level emotional person. I can't be a kind person. I will bring out my pinchers. So that is my way of retreating my pinchers, by treating myself and going through my routine that calms me. Let me know of your routine. You guys, I really had fun talking about this. Let me know what you think in the comment. I will see you in the next one.